All right, what's up, guys? How's everybody doing today? We're going to start out with just trying to set everything up. But anybody that does show up early, I appreciate you guys for being here. Let's save that. If you guys want to check out my link for BTCC, feel free to check that out in the chat. Let's see, save as. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Pin. Make sure you guys hit that like button as soon as you get in here. We got 28 people. I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button. It does help out with the channel and growth and all of that stuff. Um, all right. So, yeah, we got 28 people. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to log into other platforms, and it's not seeming to let me log in. Um, hmm. That's Daisy that's coming down the steps. All right. Yeah, so if you guys want to check out my link for BTCC, that link is in the chat. You can get a 10% deposit bonus when you use my link, as well as extra bonuses up to $10,055. You can also get or trade up to a 500x leverage. Just before we kind of get started, as we've seen, the market has been moving and, different things are kind of increasing here. Bitcoin reaching higher levels and all of that. I ended up making profit yesterday. I decided to take some profit out of my leverage trades. I had three 10x leverages that I decided to take some profit from. My initial investment plus a little bit of profit. Now, the reason why I did that was not because I don't believe in the market. It's just because you have to make sure when you have, higher X leverages, that you take profit out of it, maybe leave the rest in there for future growth, for longer term growth, and be able to profit in the end, right? So, again, I've taken $200 worth of profit here. I've taken about 200 worth of profit here and almost 300 worth of profit for Ethereum. Now, with those positions, I still have open plays with them, right? I only took half of my plays or half of my profit. In Ethereum, I'm up another $375, 214 for Caspa, and 230 for AVAX. For these two, Jasmine Coin and XRP, I have a 3x leverage and a 2x leverage. So the likelihood of those getting liquidated are not as likely as a 10x leverage. However, anything could happen. But I didn't take any profit from those. I just took the profit from the 10x leverages to give me profit. But yeah, I see XRP is at a higher level, seeing it at $2.65 ish. Uh, Taking that small profit would you have paid the light bill? Would I have paid the light bill with it? Is that what you're saying? Or are you saying would have? That profit that you've had would have paid the light bill. Yeah, I mean, those those profits are important, right? Taking some of those profits um, really feel great because it makes it real, right? Where if you don't take profit, yes, you see the gains and you're like, this is amazing, but I've seen those dissipate very, very quickly. I've seen those profits go away. um, so did I have to pay the light bill? No, I didn't have to pay the light bill. Um, I take the profit because it feels good to make it real. Because if you don't take the profit, it's unrealized gains. Now, I leave some in there for what can be. So since it is a 10x leverage, it's a higher leverage. As I take that profit, I still leave $100 there at a 10x leverage, giving me still decent gains, but also protecting my initial investment as well as protecting my profit. Now, with the 2x leverage and 3x leverage that I have, it makes sense to really just kind of see those through because Jasmine Coin, it would have to drop 50% in order for me to lose everything that I invested. For XRP, it would have to drop 33% to lose everything that I've invested. Now, while that can happen, it doesn't mean that, it's a lower chance of those things happening. That's why a 2x leverage and 3x leverage are always great. And you're basically investing a small amount of money to give you 3 times that or 2 times that, right? If that makes sense in the end. But it takes your money out of the game. And it doesn't. It takes half my money out of the game. So if you protect your investment and protect some of your profits, it allows you to have room to buy in if it does start to come down, right? Because with any type of all-time high that you see with Bitcoin or Ethereum or anything that's there, you're going to see retracements, right? People that overreact to things are like, this is the highest price it's ever going to get, I'm going to sell everything. And they end up doing that. Now, as you see more and more people that do that, the prices start to come down. And if those prices come down, you now have the ability to potentially buy other things. You have money to find another low position to now do a 5x leverage or 10x leverage in. Without taking any type of profit, you now have to put more money into the exchange in order to find that investment or take that opportunity. So for me, taking out what was it total? For me, taking out $313 here, or $200+ or $300-400 here, I now have the ability to take a lot of that money and do other leverage trades with it, and still have my initial investment in my pocket. What about taxes? Taxes are later on. You can worry about the taxes later. But yes, you do factor in taxes to it. But you also look at all of your gains slash losses, and you continue with that. And as you're trading, yes, you can only write off a certain amount of losses. But overall, with the crypto market, it's kind of harder to track than the stock market, where you can write off up to $5,000 worth of losses, but all of your gains are your gains. For the crypto market, it's kind of all in one. So you gain $10,000, you lose $5,000, or let's say you gain $100,000, you lose $20,000. Your net gain that you've had is $80,000, depending on what it is, long term, short term. You can break it down that way, but it can be classified as all in one if you don't have the documentation for it, right? When I say documentation, I mean the tax forms. Tax forms may look different, but if an exchange doesn't have tax forms, you're basically doing it by your own math rather than anything else. So it's definitely a little bit of a loophole with cryptocurrency, because all stock market sites and will give you those tax forms. Not all crypto sites will. So you have to kind of break that down for yourself. And the best way to break it down is by looking at overall profit to loss. But either way, the point is that you're protecting your investment, initial investment, and then whatever you have in profit, you now have that profit, right? It's sitting in your account. You can trade with that profit if you wanted to, and then obviously worry about taxes later. If you don't take some cash out, you get left without cash. Exactly. You can either hold through the bear market, or just as an investor, or take small profits on run up to buy when prices come down. That's exactly how the money you made. Yes. But yeah, that's exactly what needs to happen, right? You have to find a way to gather some cash. As you see these run-ups, 118,000, almost 119, $120,000, right, for Bitcoin. As you see these run-ups, you're going to see retracements. And when you see those retracements, a lot of other things will move kind of the same way when it comes to crypto. So whatever you're invested into, right, whatever you're invested into, you got to make sure that you have a plan to take some profit to have cash later. Because I've been in that situation where I just hold things forever and or hold things for a very long time. And I love to invest, like long term. I love to invest. So I will hold things for a long time. But when it comes to leverage trading, that is not something that you just treat as a forever type of thing. This is more of a short term thing than anything, right? You are trading with somebody else's money. And the more that you hold it, the more funding fees that you have. Just overall, it's not the best situation for you. But you can have short term and longer term plays within them. And the best way to do that is to trade, let's say at a 10x leverage, find some gains from $2,253 to $3,000, see what that profit is, take half that profit, giving yourself, especially if it's 300%, you take half that profit, you're getting your initial investment back plus the profit. If you take it, let's say it's at a 50% gain and you take half your profit, you're still not getting back your initial investment. You could take 75% and then you may end up having that depending what the math is. But when it's like 200, 300%, you're getting back your initial investment, you're getting back profit. And now you have the same amount of money that you had before to now invest into other things, right? Or maybe even more money than you had before to invest into other things, right? So you have opportunity. Good morning from South Alabama. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. We got 109 people here. If you guys can answer the poll, hit the like button. Again, if you guys want to leverage trade or you want to talk about leverage trading, feel free to hit me up on Patreon and we can talk about leverage trading and see which plays look really good, where the opportunities are, where you could see maybe some short plays as well. Depending, right? The market does look like we may end up seeing some major positivity, but with any new all-time highs, we typically see these retracements there. But if you guys want to get started, feel free to check out my link for BTCC in the chat. You guys can get a 10% deposit bonus, extra bonuses up to $10,055, and 40% lower trading fees. Also, you can trade up to a 500x leverage. I never recommend that, but you can. It's leverage trading can be simple. You can make it simple. You can also make it very difficult, and you can lose a lot of money if you are not careful. Don't be greedy in any situation. Don't be greedy. But let's check out where everything is in the market, right? So Bitcoin. Let's start with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is at $118,000, $118,109.12. $108.12. It's up by 6% in the last 24 hours. That is the rolling 24 hours from 111, picking up to 116, coming back down a little bit, but then breaking out to 118, closing into 120. Seeing a $2.3 trillion market cap for just Bitcoin is insane. Like this is the market cap that we were standing still at for the entire crypto market, but also seeing that the crypto market is at a ridiculously high level as well. It's amazing. $124 billion worth of volume in the last 24 hours. So a lot of money circulating through it. And again, we almost reached the 109,000, approaching the $120,000 mark. Just like if you were one of those people that bought 15 years ago, that were mining it 15 years ago, whatever, and you held on for this long, or you decided to put it away, like have forever coins that you just want to put away and put somewhere else. I don't know where you would have put it, how you would have held on to it, where what safe you would have put it into. It doesn't matter. But if you were one of those people, like, it must feel amazing to even have one, right? To have that much of a gain from 5 cents of an all-time low, right? 4.8 cents to $118,000 is insane. I've talked about this so many times that people don't understand, what they have, either until it's gone, right? And all of these opportunities that are in front of you, so many opportunities, the internet, right? You look at speculative markets, they will kind of, just for lack of a better term, and hopefully there are no kids, they will shit on anything that you decide to buy, decide to like, decide to invest into, because everybody thinks that they have a better opinion on how to invest and how to go about it. um, I thought I did as well, and I sometimes still do, and I catch myself, and I'm like, yeah, I'm no better than the next person who doubted this. I'm not going to doubt anybody, so I try not to doubt anybody's investment and always look at the positives and negatives and say, what is this going to do? What is this going to do? Can it get there? What's the likelihood? All of that stuff. But I don't try and, you know, I don't try and talk about anybody's investment in a bad way, right? I understand that these things can happen, these sectors can take off, and after understanding and being on the side of everybody being like, no, 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 don't do that, don't invest in the XRP. It's never going to get back past 70 cents, never going to get to $1 again. It's never going to, like, they're telling you all of this and just like right to your face, and they don't know what they're talking about, right? So like it's just insane. It's so great to see that things are working out here. But now you have those same people that come up to you and go, uh, oh, Bitcoin is running to a crazy level. And I'm like, why are you now talking about cryptocurrency? Like a year or two ago, you were like, cryptocurrency is dead and it's never coming back and it was just a fad and all of this. And now you're talking to me like you've invested in the crypto for 10 years. Like you've been following the crypto market and you believe in the crypto market. It's like you have to see it succeed. People only believe what they see. So like, oh, Bitcoin's down to 16,000, it's done, it's over. Oh, Bitcoin's up to 118,000, it's the best thing in the world. It's like, make up your damn mind, right? Anyways, we got 128 people that are here. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Again, Bitcoin is seeing some major movement, which is great, but not only Bitcoin, right? We're seeing the entire market. We're approaching a $3.7 trillion market cap. For those same people that said that cryptocurrency would not get to a $3 trillion market cap, would not get back to the all-time high, you're wrong, right? It's now approaching a level of $4 trillion, approaching a level of $5 trillion, probably going to get to levels of 7 and $10 trillion. And we're all going to see it flourish. And we're here for it. So I'm excited for what's to come. But right now, again, Ethereum is up to about $3,000, up 7.6%, which is great. XRP is up to $2.64. Again, amazing to see that. Still want to see a lot more growth, $155 billion market cap, while Tether is sitting at $159 billion. Finding a way to kind of surpass that and hopefully surpass Ethereum as well. BNB is sitting at about a $700 price point. Solana is $164. You have Dogecoin that's up by 10% at about 20 cents there. That's great. I think I have a Dogecoin investment in DFlow. If you guys want to check out DFlow, I should have a link to that somewhere in the chat, I think, or somewhere in the description. If not, I'll put it there at some point. But Cardano is up 15%. What's the largest percentages that are up? I believe Altcoin flew quite a bit. SEI is up by 31%. Athena is up by 23%. IP is up by 23%. WorldCoin is also up by about 16, 17%. Jasmy Coin is seeing a little bit of an increase back up to 1.5 cents. I have a Jasmy Coin, I think it's a 3x leverage that, let me see, if I wanted to eventually take profit as it gets up to a higher level, I think I could see somewhere around 3,000-ish dollars. So if I wanted to edit this and say, all right, I wanted this to get to a 6-cent price, that would be profit of $3,692.44. Obviously, to higher levels, as I grow up to those levels, I most likely will take profit. It is only a 2x leverage, but as I get to 10 cents, that's $6,000, $7,000 off of a $500 initial investment with a 2x leverage. So I'm excited about that, and we'll see how that goes. But leverage trading has been great so far. Um, let's see. If I look at my watch list, let's go and look at my watch list and look at some things that are increasing the most, right? We have Cardano again up by 15%, Caspa that's up by 10%. I believe I added AltLayer. Yeah, AltLayer I added to my portfolio, which is currently sitting at a 53% gain, 67% gain in the last 7 days. Someone told me that I should have sold this. I still haven't sold it. I probably should have bought more as it got lower, but I didn't allocate any money towards it. I was going to. I was looking for a 1 cent price, I think it was. But yeah, still have a decent amount. I'm now positive again because I bought at like 3 cents, 3.9 or 3 point something. Um, but yeah, I'm looking for that to be worth a lot more than where it stands. Uh, and we'll see that grow as we move forward. But yeah, that's premature if I decide to sell it there. But it is up 53%, which is great. I just think there's a lot more left on the table. But yeah, crypto looks good. Blah, blah, blah. So many people will be shocked when XRP hits $10 USD. I think you're right. Um, let me scroll back to make sure I get everything. It may help people understand to say you're not pulling profits into your bank account. It stays in the market. That's very true. Yes. I'm not pulling them into there. I mean, typically, the way that I was doing it before is it would always go back into my bank account and I would stay with investing $500, right? So the profits would always go back into my bank account. But now I'm actually trying to grow that account to about $100,000 just based off of growth alone. And hopefully I can do that. You never know. It takes time to go through the right investments and make the right moves. um, and we'll have to see because there's some 500x leverages that I did that will work out. Some will not, but I'm not risking the entire bag of what I have there. So now everything that I make is staying in that platform on that side. So right now I think it's worth um, $3,000. So while I started last month, or maybe a little bit, it might have been a little bit over a month, at a I think it was $500 to $900. I got to $1,000. You see my P&L is up by 1,000, but my total balance is at $2,934. So I'm up a significant amount from where I started, which is a great start. it's it's still a long journey to grow it to $100,000, but you know, $97,000 left, right? So it's good to see. We basically in the last month have, let's say from 900 or let's round up to 1,000, we tripled what our account value was in the last month. And that's just based off of this movement. Now, a lot of it is still unrealized, right? The unrealized gains that we have there, we could potentially lose everything that we have there. We could, um, which again would be a lot. But yeah, I have about 1,071 that's used with 1,084 that's um, in unrealized gains. So if both of those went away, it would be about $900 again. So if I lost everything that's currently on this board, I still would break even in the last month. That's why I decided to take profit. Because again, if I decided to, I was just like, the market absolutely crashed down and I lost the Jasmy coin initial investment plus all the profit, the XRP initial investment plus the profit, and so on and so forth. I would still have $934, um, because all the rest of it is in USDT. That's still amazing. Um, so many people will be shocked. Sorry, I'm skipping the advice with LKI. I just want to get through some of the other chats, but make sure you guys hit that like button. Bring it up again later. We'll have to go and check it out. Um, but so many people will be shocked when XRP hits $10 USD soon. Yeah, I agree. There's going to be a lot of people that are like, I hate saying that Matt was right, or I hate saying that people were right. Like, it's honestly not about being right, but at this point, with how many comments that I get, I will rub it in your face. I will. I am going to. I am going to say that I was right. I told you so. We're seeing this run to another level. And you know what? Some of those people might be very silent. And some of those other people that say it might double down and go, you better sell it while you have it, and just go, well, it's still a horrible position. But either way, they're wrong. Did you see that they're breaking an 8-year resistance trend line on the chart? I didn't see that. No. for for Bitcoin, how would it break an 8-year when it's never been here? Or who's what's doing that? First of all, I had 100 coins, and I thought no way this crypto is going anywhere back when it first came out. I sold. Wow, what a mistake I made. I mean, yeah, but I'm sure you learn from those mistakes in a way. Obviously, that is a huge mistake where each 10 that you owned could have been $1 million. You could have had $10 million, at least, if not more. But still, it's something that you learn from and you grow, and everybody does things for a reason, right? And I believe that you learn from a lot of things. I've invested into Amazon when it was a very low amount and decided that I was impatient at those times. I'm very patient now, but I would have never held on, right? I was not a patient investor at those times. Now, I'm very patient. I wanted to be able to take the money. I kind of wanted quick money in the past, where it was like I wanted to be able to take the money and buy whatever I wanted right now. Now I can say right now I could probably buy um, a lot of the things that I want. So any of the money that's invested, it feels like I can just leave it there without having to worry about it. In the past, as either a college student or even after college, I would invest and know that I don't technically, like, I may need that money the next month. Like, I don't feel like I would have, because I know what my bills were and I tracked all that stuff. But we had somewhat of a spending problem when when I got my entry level position at a manufacturing company. And so it was it was something that I was just like, I might need it because I might end up spending more than and I was impatient. I'm not impatient now. I'm very patient. But everybody learns from the things that they do. It sucks to know that you had something that could be worth so much more. And that's why all of my positions that I bought, that I talked about, I still hold. People tell me all the time, they're like, why don't you talk about Terra Luna Classic? Did you sell it? No, I still hold Terra Luna Classic. I still talk about it at times. I still hold Shiba Inu. I still hold Pepe. I still hold um, XRP. I hold Jasmine Coin. I hold um, Farm Coin. Many people have mentioned about Farm Coin or Krill Coin. I hold all of those positions because, one, we haven't seen altcoin season, and two, they still show so much promise for success. Why would I decide to be impatient and not let it run its course? Bitcoin, for the longest time, looked like it was going nowhere, that it was going to hover. It ended up getting to 20,000, decreased down to 2,000, and then hovered for a long time and saw some increases, saw some decreases. It just looked like it wasn't going to be a thing, as I wasn't doing any research in it. But for anybody that did believe in it, that continued to believe in it, they obviously saw a ton of success, like the Winklevoss twins, buying so much Bitcoin, and um, seeing that turn into what it is today is just insane. Hey man, I've lost money so far since I invested in crypto in early mid 2024. I've invested in alts. Any hopium? Yeah, I mean, altcoins haven't made their moves yet, right? I am 100, not 100%, 99.8% invested into altcoins. And I have a lot that I've gained, right? So for things like Jasmine Coin, things like XRP, some things like GME Coin, and some others, right? I've gained a decent amount, tens of thousands of dollars, if not more than that. Um, but there are also a lot that I'm actually negative on. I believe Litecoin I'm negative on. Solana I'm not. I've invested around $100 or so for that. But there are a few, or a lot actually, that I'm negative on. Probably 60 to 70% of my positions, and it's because they're all altcoins and altcoins haven't run. Altcoins are going to make a heavy move. We're going to see that trickle down eventually, and we'll all be able to make a ton of money, or at least have the opportunity to make a ton of money short term, as well as see the long term materialize. But it will only get there if you give it a chance to do so. That's the problem, is that if you've only lost money for this long period of time and you decide to be patient, when you get to a point where you are profitable, now you become a little bit less patient, because you're like, I'm at break even. I could get all the money that I invested back. Or you're up $1,000 or $2,000 or whatever, and you're like, I could take my profit and be happy with that. And while you could, you just never give it a chance to grow and be something bigger. Whenever you have these positions that you're negative on, or you're low on, especially if you believe in them, you should be finding a way to average down or average into them, because you're lowering your cost basis. You're giving yourself a quicker chance, or a better chance to succeed, because now your break even point went from here down to here, meaning that all you have to do is get to here. Now you're break even. Now you get back to your original price and you're at a major profit, right? So, and sometimes it's hard because you don't have the money to invest, especially in times where things seem like they cost a fortune. Um, but that's where, maybe side hustles come into play, and, finding the right money to now be able to put into these positions that you truly do believe in. So it's more than hopium. Oh my God. Here goes this dude again. I mean, that's fine if you are not. Are you talking about me? Long term, do you think with so many high predictions over the next 10 years for Bitcoin, that a lot of top 10 coins like SUI, Sol, ETH, etc., will follow that ride? Not the same price, but go up a lot. So, yes, I do think that they will. I think there will be a lot of money that trickles down into the rest of the market, because right now, Bitcoin controls 60% of the market. It will not control 60% of the market as we see altcoins and the bull market hit its high. And typically, when we see that happen, altcoins tend to rise and control a lot more, whether it's Ethereum, or you're talking about even XRP and BNB and LTC, all of those that reach damn near $100 billion, or 200 or 300, or in Ethereum's case and XRP, multiple trillions of dollars worth of market cap. I think altcoins will experience a lot more growth. And it's right now, it's, you see a lot more towards Bitcoin because of the kind of shift for acceptance in like the governments and countries that are kind of still looking to produce an ETF, even if it is an all-encompassing ETF, to produce an ETF that will be compromised, or be what word am I looking for? To have 60 to 70% Bitcoin in that ETF, and then see some that's in Ethereum, 25% or whatever in Ethereum, and see that 1-2%, 5% into other things, and then you'll see more broader ETFs, broader market ETFs, to where 50% go into to Bitcoin, 10%, 20% go into Ethereum, right? Then the rest goes into other altcoins, and then you'll see it just continue to get better and better and more diverse over time. Because right now, the traditionalists are still only really willing to accept Bitcoin. And then as more ETFs are out there, as more acceptance happens, you'll see that kind of move where Bitcoin is still widely accepted and believed in and invested in, but you'll also see that trickle down to other things in the top 25 and the top 50. But you'll also see the money that starts to flow into other projects that potentially have more use case, right? So whether you're talking about something that's a metaverse coin, an AI coin, something that's a transaction-based currency, or whatever. when Shiba going to move? I mean, you're going to see meme coins that move pretty aggressively at some point. I can't predict exactly when because it's very difficult to know exactly when the trickle down will happen. But we've seen meme coins that move more than other altcoins at times because the FOMO is huge in a lot of those plays. Um, is there any play that I can do now? Is there any play? I feel like there's still prices, but still different plays that are at decent prices, um, especially for where you see them at a mid to high point. If you're looking to see Dogecoin at $1, which a lot of people still believe we could still see that at 150 billion coin supply, which would be a $150 billion market cap, you'd be looking at a 5x there. So that's not a horrible play. It is a meme coin, so you have to kind of put all your belief on the community rather than what it's used for. But there are still plays. Like I feel like Ethereum at $3,000 is still low compared to where the high is going to be, but it's obviously not the lowest point. So you're putting yourself more in a midpoint for some of these things. Seeing Cardano at 72 cents, that's not horrible. It's not the best because obviously 30 to 40 cent would be the best, but it's not the worst. So there are plays that you can get into now. It's just you're opening yourself up for potential losses, short-term losses that could lead into long-term gains. It would have to be to where you are willing to accept the fact that it could come back on you, and you have money to average down in if you decided to do that. Hey Matt, when do you think Fed will cut interest rates? I honestly haven't paid much attention to that, and I should pay more attention to it. I was at one point, but I'm not now. Um, so I don't know the answer to that question. It's probably good to know. So I'll have to look into what has been going on with rates. I don't even know where rates are right now. I'll be honest. I haven't had to deal with rates at all, because obviously I've had my house for a very long time, so don't have to worry about rates there. I own my car, so don't have to worry about rates there. Erica owns her car, so she doesn't have to worry about rates there. I don't need loans, so I don't have to worry about rates there. But my brother did go through a process to where his rate was pretty high, but I just think that was the bank more than it was, or actually the dealership more than it was the height of the rates, because it was insane. I honestly want to end up loaning him the money at a lower percent interest rate and have him pay it off like that rather than go through this banking system, because the interest that he would pay is just, I don't know, it's insane. The market will explode once regulations are passed, but um, regulations might cause meme coins to become almost worthless. The regulations are going to increase the value of ISO coins like XRP and XLM. I mean, that could be the case, right? Where it would have to be regulations on on US cryptocurrency companies, right? If you can trade in the US, you may not be able to offer certain coins, but that wouldn't be I don't think that would be wise. I think it's going to probably lead to a lot of the newer meme coins to have a little bit more structure, rather than just say if your exchange offers meme coins, then you will be held accountable or whatever, right? That's what I would think, because the government can do that, like say a Coinbase. If they offer, a Shiba Inu, a Bonk, a Pepe, or something like that, they could have some sort of consequences for offering a meme coin that has no value. However, um, if that really all depends. I would probably say it would lead more towards the newer cryptocurrencies where there's more of a check and balance in offering a coin on their platform rather than just offering it in general. Because a lot of platforms, especially tier two and tier three platforms, will will go, oh, it's a new meme coin with millions of dollars worth of popularity. Let me add them to this so that we can see some volume there. Or let me get paid by those meme coins in order to do so. I feel like there has to be some sort of regulation there, um, on the check and balance, and also receiving money for offering the meme coins. If you don't know, like if you look at many like scams that are happening, right? Any scam coins, a lot of people like to hold, let's say, some bigger name person that didn't do their research on the coin, or didn't do enough research on the coin, um, to say you shouldn't have been talking about this. While that is correct to see that, it's more, I would say, on the exchange for offering it, right? Exchanges get paid sometimes millions of dollars to offer a coin on their platform. So they'll get the coins, maybe let's say 20 million coins, um, or 10% of the supply. They'll also get paid 30,000, 100,000, or even up to, I think, Coinbase is $2 million to get listed on their platform. So they'll get $2 million from this coin to get listed. They'll also get the coins to add to their balance sheet. Sorry. And now they also have the popularity of pushing those projects. So it's pretty insane. And as they have millions of followers on Twitter and saying, "Hey, we're offering Dust Coin," and nobody knows what Dust Coin is, but now Dust Coin has 50, 60, $100 million worth of volume, and then Dust Coin goes to not to zero, but it drops down to 90% decrease or 99% decrease. Oh, that's not on the exchange. They just got paid $2 million to say that they have that coin, to list that coin, and to have it tradable. It's not on the exchange though. Like, that's where the regulation needs to come from, because exchanges will make a boatload with trying to offer these coins, and it's just more of a convenience thing for them. They're like, I can offer this coin. We have so many people that are willing to trade it because it is new. We'll put it at the front, the home screen, to let people know that we have it tradable. We'll put it on Twitter. Like, they're the worst culprits, and they never get held accountable. The people that own those exchanges never get held accountable. It's kind of shocking, honestly. If they put interest rates down, then a lot of borrowing money and printing we will flow in crypto. Jasmine price prediction for the end of this year. All right, so guys, I know I have 140 people that are here. I have to go and get the kids ready for, or at least Hayden ready for school. Harper is going to be home with me the entire time, but I am going to come back, and it'll probably be like 30 minutes, maybe an hour. I don't know. I'll get them ready, but I'm going to leave this on, and you guys can stay here. You can chat. You can do whatever you want to do. But yeah, I can't. I got to go and get them ready. I want to I want to be live more often, and I will be back. It'll probably be somewhere around, I don't know, 8:30. So I'm gonna keep this on. Uh, Check back at 8:30, and I will be here. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'll keep this screen on. What I'll do is I will bring this up and move this over here, move this over here, move this over here, and then we'll see that. You'll be able to see where Bitcoin is going, unless you want to look at something else, right? I don't know if anything else is flying. Mr. Chair time. Maybe. I don't know. That's all you'll really see is maybe even you won't even see the chair because I have a smaller chair that doesn't show. But I will be back, and remind me that I have to put the audio back on. So 8:30. I'll you know what? I'll put a post out there or some sort of thing. Yeah, I'll put that, and then I'll pin it. All right. Anyways, for the people that are not going to be here when I get back, I appreciate you guys for being here and taking the time out of your day to watch me. Nice haircut. Thank you. I actually didn't do anything to it today, but still woke up, worked out, came right down here and started to stream. So I'll be back. I'll catch you guys in a little bit. Let me turn the sound off. So never mind. I actually he said party. I actually I have to take Hayden to school, and then Harper has swimming. So I I won't be back at 8:30. I will be back right now, and I'm going to end this somewhere around 7:55. So a little over an hour worth of streaming. I just wish I could stream for a lot longer, but I also love being able to take Harper to different sporting events and stuff. So Yeah, I should delete this message. 2026, 2027, 2028, all a very concerning time for Western men. Be prepared for struggle when the rug gets pulled. Why do you say that? What about XRP? I mean, XRP looks great. I'm let me go ahead and bring this back because again, I'm staying here until about 7:50, and we can look at where XRP is. So XRP currently stands at $2.62. It's great, right? Seeing the movement has been phenomenal. Obviously, you want to see a lot more in altcoins. You want to see a lot more of a reaction, a lot more movement. But $8 billion worth of volume, $154 billion market cap, still has that 59 billion coins in circulating supply. Yeah, I mean things are still looking great, and XRP is also included in any all-encompassing ETFs that we've seen. We have more and more adoption and everything, right? You have things like Robinhood. Let me go back here and make sure something doesn't pop up at any moment just to log into it. I hate when it does that. It's like log in using this, and this email. Robinhood launches ETH Sol staking services for U.S. users with a minimum of $1. This is a big deal because it shows that there's more acceptance, right? Acceptance is a big word right now, where they're accepting more crypto for different businesses, different exchanges, and various products and services and all of that. So it's a big deal. Obviously, I want to see XRP get to a level of $3, and you said $3 by Sunday. That would be amazing. But we are seeing Bitcoin make some huge moves, right? Up to 118,000, and currently back down to 117,000. So if we see a reversal of Bitcoin, there's probably a good chance that we'll see a reversal of other things. Like you can still look in the last hour that Bitcoin's down by 0.5%, and then you're also seeing Ethereum down by 0.8. You're seeing XRP down by 0.7. So if Bitcoin is going to retrace from these newer all-time highs that it created, instead of 112,000, 116 to 118, now you start to look at it and you're like, okay, this, we could see maybe a little bit of a retracement. Now, I would love to see it at $3 by Sunday. That would be amazing. But even if it does get to $3, what does that mean for me? What am I doing at $3? Honestly, nothing. Not doing anything at $3. It gets to $4, not doing anything at $4. So it really doesn't mean anything to me until we get to that level of $5, which is my first like initial selling point for some XRP, just to be able to collect initial investment and be able to put that money into my dividend portfolio, because I want to do that for the long term. And then the rest that's there will obviously move up until we get to my next selling point, which will be less XRP that I'm selling, but probably the same amount of money. So yeah, it'll be interesting. So it doesn't matter if it does get to it. It would be phenomenal just to see it and to continue to see that growth. But it has to get to $3 before it gets to $4. It has to get to $4 before it gets to $5. So it's always great to see those levels hit. Good morning, all. Was gonna skip gym, but nah, that's a good idea. Don't skip the gym. You gotta stay on it. You gotta stay working. You gotta stay healthy. Right now, my hip hurts. I don't know why. It's not even my hip. It's more or less it's close to it. It's more or less like an upper thigh situation. I gotta just stretch. Every time I stretch, it feels better. But if I don't stretch, um, Like right now, it feels painful at times, but doesn't. It's not like a strong pain, but I'm just getting old. Um, be better if CRO could move more than fractions of pennies. Only token in the top 50 that is over a penny moving in such a low rate. Yeah, I mean CRO definitely doesn't see as much volume. Most of the strength for CRO comes from the amount that's staked and held because they offer so much for what you can do for holding it rather than short term movement. So you won't see it really in the volume as much. Now we did see a decent amount of volume recently, but you typically see it around low double digit millions. It could be a high day for CRO could be 20 million, and a low day could be like a couple million, which is insane to see something that's worth billions of dollars only see fractions of that when it comes to the volume to market cap ratio. But you know, that's just where all the strength is. Phil, yeah, just be patient. XRP did the same thing in 2024. Yeah, it's like the CRO team are taking all the profits and fattening their own pockets before investors. I wouldn't say that. I mean, yeah, they are always fattening their own pockets, but I think it's less about what's from CRO and more about what's coming from crypto.com. I'm sure they are fattening their own pockets with that, the overall of what it is, but not CRO specifically. Um, I mean, if you could look at the 70 billion that they are offering, yes, they technically are fattening the pockets of crypto.com in the long run. Um, but it's not something to where they're like consistently taking and going, oh, you know what, let me just put this right in my pocket. It's like stealing from the cash register. Like it's not like they're doing that. Um, will Ripple get a bank license? What do you think? And then what will happen to XRP? Will Ripple get a bank license? Do you think they're going to offer their own? I feel like in a way just competing with a bank is not necessarily the best. I can't say it's not the best idea because that's the whole point of cryptocurrency. It's kind of to bypass banks, but it seems like what the Ripple is really trying to do is more or less partner with banks rather than create their own thing. It doesn't really make sense to do that. It does by our standards because we want to bypass banks. We don't like the way that they function, but they are partnering with them and they seem to like the structure in a way and just implementing a cryptocurrency or implementing Ripple's payment options into that structure is more of what I see. But they applied for a bank license. If you did, I didn't know. There's there's a lot of things that's interesting. That's very very interesting. I'm trying to see the angle on that. I mean, for us, it makes sense because you bypass what traditional banks are, which means that they're like loaning out your money. They don't have your money on hand. If you wanted to get anything out, you can't do that. So I would like to see exactly what their angle will be as they would be their own bank, but I still don't see the full angle of that with how many partnerships they have with major banks. So how does that really tie together? I guess it would be a way of kind of like how you offer a product, like you offer, let's say a comb, and your comb has something proprietary about it, right? It has something that no other thing can do, right? Your thing is patent. I don't know what it is. Let's say the handle is patent, but then you decide to license that to other comb manufacturers while still having your name brand with this. So you're still selling your product. It's kind of like that, where it could work you're just getting money from both angles, right? I would like to see where they're coming from and what they're looking to do with that. But it does sound interesting. Ripple also applied for a Federal Reserve master account. I honestly think is to do with some legal regulations or loopholes. I guess we'll have to see. But it is interesting. A lot of it, a lot of what they do. Obviously, there's reasonings behind it, but I can never like actually pinpoint one reason. I can have an opinion, but it doesn't mean that that's the right one, right? A CRO ETF coming by end of year. That's great and all. I still feel like all encompassing ETFs are the way to go. And if somebody's investing into an ETF, they're investing into the broader market. However, seeing a CRO ETF is a step forward, right? Seeing that you have the ability for traditionalists to buy CRO without actually buying CRO, if that makes sense. To own CRO with knowing that you have a middleman, that you're investing with the middleman, and then the middleman is investing in the CRO. But where all of the hype and attention and most of what traditionalists want is to always invest into the broader market. So investing into something that includes, a Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, ADA, CRO, all of that, and investing into the grand scheme of things, the larger of what we're looking at, that's what traditionalists want. And I think it would be great because that's exactly what I want. If I could find anything where I can say, I'm putting my money into crypto, and then people are like, what are you, how, what position? And it's like, not one position, I'm buying a crypto ETF. Just that conversation right there sparks so much interest because it's not investing into one specific thing, it's investing into what that ETF believes is going to be the 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 largest performers in a way. So yeah, I mean that's what makes me feel. You said F banks. I rather go on CDC. You rather go on crypto.com. Yeah, that's what you're saying. In fact, CDC is pretty solid as an exchange. I mean, it is. I don't know what their like full like live exchange looks like for fees, but their fees, not fees, let's say, um, their spreads, their spreads don't look the greatest for their crypto.com themselves. Um, their exchange, on the other hand, I don't know how that goes because it's just like that with Coinbase. You buy on their Coinbase website and you end up paying more if you're buying it, and you end up getting a lesser price if you're selling it. And for crypto.com, that's the same way. So their exchange may be a lot different. So, but I don't know about that because I don't have access to it. Do you still own all your XRP you had? Yeah, 200, technically 211,000. Yeah, yep, still hold it. Um, and again, 10,000 is always going to sit in my Ledger wallet. Like I'm not going to touch it. I don't plan on touching it. Um, yeah, we'll have to see as it gets to higher and higher prices. If it gets to a value of $10,000 per coin, I might have to touch it. But anything before that, I just want to see the growth and be able to use it for that. For everything else, I don't have to use it. I just want to gain something from it. Jasmine coin will hit $16. Guys, buy now. I don't know about Jasmine coin to $16. That's a very high market cap. Now, if they can you know, obviously decrease that supply. And over time, as you see more that's being held and taken out of circulation, then yes, you could potentially see that. But right now, we're looking at, you know, lower prices here. You know, currently it's at a 1.5 cent level. So even getting to $1 is phenomenal for most, all investors, not most investors, all investors. How much cryptocurrency do you have? That's a loaded question because I have a lot. I have a ton of cryptos, well over 100 different cryptocurrencies. Now, granted, I did buy 100, or I bought $5 of 100 different cryptocurrencies on Kraken just to see that growth. And I did see a lot of growth, but more recently we've seen a lot of things that have fallen quite a bit that haven't had the success that we wanted to see in altcoin season, but altcoin season hasn't happened yet. So I would expect to see those run as well. But outside of that, invested in like hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands of dollars, I probably have like a good, um, I don't know, all the ones that are in my watch list I do own, but there's more as well. So if you look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, let's just say that was 13, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 30, about 37, 40 different cryptocurrencies that I have. And then I also have a couple of other ones and 100 over on Kraken. I've I started with $100 and I was able to grow that to $1,000, to which I bought Ethereum and I bought ADA, I believe. And I just continued to grow and add more over time. Half a million portfolio, not bad. Bro, since I have just two XRP. I mean, you have to grow to to add that. At one point, I've given away so much XRP. As XRP reached the level of $3, because I've given away thousands of XRP, that I don't know what they did with it, but I've given away thousands of XRP to other people, to viewers, and if they held on to that thousand that I sent that was worth 50 cents or so, about $500, is now worth 3,000 or close to that, $3,000. So hopefully they, you know, hold on to that and they believe in it. If they didn't, obviously you can use that money and it's always great. But I don't really do that as much anymore, especially since crypto has kind of flourished to another level. Now 1,000 XRP is worth $2,600. Yeah, I've given away a lot. I've given away Shiba Inu. I've given away Terra Luna Classic. I've given away XRP. I've given away Amazon gift cards and all that stuff. It was just always great. Just give me 10 only. XRP will hit 5,000 before 2030. $5,000 before 2030. Like I want to say yes, but I always want to go into like my realistic bag and be like, do I even need it to hit $5,000? That's not something that I necessarily even need to talk about as much. But there have been conversations about 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, $30,000, and it all depends on the route that they take. Um, but for me and for most people, it's if XRP finds a way to hit 10 or $100, that's a massive move, and that's all they need. Off topic, how's the golf game been going? I mean, it's going okay. I wish I would have a lot more time to um, work on it. My simulator, I kind of took that down. I added more to the garage gym, so it's more gym, less um, golfing. I want to put back up the simulator. My simulator screen broke. Well, it wasn't a screen. It was a net. the net broke, and ripped off on edges and ripped off in the center, and it just wasn't working. So I have to get another screen and then also move a lot of the stuff that's in the garage. Um, Maybe have like a shed or something. But yeah, I don't know. Institutions are coming in already, slightly. All right, I gotta go, guys. Thank you for watching. I would live stream for a lot longer. Maybe one day that Harper doesn't have swimming in the morning. But I have to go get um, Harper ready for. Well, I guess she got herself ready for swimming, but I have to get Hayden ready for school. So Hayden's still going to daycare so that she can learn as much as she can before she goes to kindergarten. Um, yeah, but you've subscribed and liked, so I deserve it. Well, thank you for subscribing and liking, but um, yeah, one, I don't have the time to really do that, but I do appreciate you for being here, subscribing, liking, and viewing and all that. um, but I will talk to you guys next time. I will put out some videos later because obviously the market looks great, and we'll have to talk about it a lot more. But I have to get out of here. Make sure you check out my link in the chat, in the description. Actually, go to the description, find a link for BTCC. Check that out. You can get a 10% deposit bonus, extra bonuses up to $10,055, 40% lower trading fees, all of that stuff. You can make leverage trades up to a 500x leverage. It honestly is a great platform. And I do have another platform, DFlow, that you guys can be a part of and check it out. Let me actually verify. I do want to see what my gains are on that before I get out of here. Once I see what my gains are, we'll kind of go back in there. I want to see if I can maybe sell some of these. Oh, yeah. So for these plays here, I'm going to go ahead and sell these because these are, oh, you know what? It's at a 5x leverage. That's not bad. I'm going to take this 100% gain that's right here because I put in $31 at a 5x leverage. I'm going to take that because it's 108%, and I'm going to go ahead and sell it. I'm going to market sell it, and I'm going to confirm, and that's going to be a $34 gain, which is not crazy because I only started with, again, $31, but I want to see if I can grow that even more. But if you guys want to check out DFlow, that link, I'll have to put that in the chat as well. It's also on some of my other videos. This is a fantastic platform that's very, very simple. It gives you the ability to high risk as well as just invest outright. And also, they have a reward system. You get points for the trades that you make, and you know those points can be used towards rewards and stuff. So it's always great to have that gamified view of it. So feel free to check it out. I'll have more about that as we view this a little bit more. But yeah, I'm going to get out of here, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.